G'day. Another video on the same day. I felt like, why not? So this video will be about the personality type of INFP, introverted, in, intuitive, feeling, perceiving. In other words, introverted feeling with extroverted intuition. Known in the personality group as the idealist, the mediator, the harmonizer, and the medic. In other words, INFP are generally people who show a lot of emotions, feelings, and I can say that because I am a INFP, and proudly so. For a very long time, I didn't really care about personality types. I didn't even worry about it. But, over time, and as my experience in narcissistic abuse has happened, I've come to realize that it's important to know more about yourself. So that's been my learning curve pretty much to improving myself, getting to know who I am inwardly, outwardly, from mind to heart to body to soul to thoughts. So the idealist is someone who dreams big, is very into the human condition, is very in touch with feeling, and hates conflict. And I'm very much that. I hate conflict, and I definitely decide things with my feelings rather than, say, logic-based thinking. I also want to talk about why I believe that INFPs, as well as the other personality group that is very similar to INFPs, INFJs, I think a lot of the people I've spoken to victims come from these two groups. And I'm going to read from an article that talks about INFP. And while I'm reading it, just think about if you're an INFJ or INFP, if this resonates with you. As an INFP, your primary mode of living is focused internally, where you deal with things according to how you feel about them or how they fit into your personal value system. Your secondary mode is external, where you take things in primarily via your intuition. INFPs, more than other intuitive feeling types, are focused on making the world a better place for people. The primary goal is to find out their meaning in life. What is their purpose? How can they best serve humanity in their lives? They are idealists and perfectionists who drive themselves hard on the quest of achieving the goals that they have identified for themselves. So very true. That's why I've missed doing activism, and I'm going to get back into activism later this year, because I do like helping people, and I have very strong views on human rights and social justice. INFPs are highly intuitive about people. They rely heavily on their intuitions to guide them and use the discoveries to constantly search for value in life. They are on a continuous mission to find the truth and meaning underlying things. Every encounter and every piece of knowledge gained gets sifted through the INFP's value system and is evaluated to see if it has any potential to help the INFP define or refine their own path in life. The goal at the end of the path is always the same. The INFP is driven to help people make the world a better place. So true. Generally thoughtful and considerate, INFPs are good listeners and put people at ease. Although they may be reserved in expressing emotion, they have a very deep well of caring and are genuinely interested in understanding people. This sincerity is sensed by others, making the INFP a valued friend and confidant. An INFP can be quite warm with people he or she knows well. INFPs do not like conflict. There we go. and to great lengths and go to great lengths to avoiding it. If they must face it, they will always approach it from a perspective of their feelings. In conflict situations, INFPs place little importance on who is right and who is wrong. They focus on the way that the conflict makes them feel, and indeed don't really care whether or not they're right. They don't want to feel badly. This trait sometimes makes them appear irrational and illogical in conflict situations. On the other hand, INFPs are very good mediators and are typically good at solving other people's conflicts because they intuitively understand people's perspectives and feelings and generally want to help them. INFPs are flexible and laid back until one of their values is violated. In the face of their value system being threatened, INFPs can become aggressive defenders, fighting passionately for their cause. When an INFP has adopted a project or job which they're interested in, it usually becomes a cause for them. Although they are not detail-orientated individuals, they will cover every possible detail with determination and vigor when working for their cause. So very true. I so resonate with that. Furthermore, when it comes to the mundane details of life maintenance, INFPs are typically completely unaware of such things. They may go for long periods without noticing a stain on the carpet, but carefully and meticulously brush a speck of dust off of their project booklet. INFPs do not like to deal with hard facts and logic. See, logic comes into it. Their focus on their feelings and the human condition makes it difficult for them to deal with impersonal judgment. They don't understand or believe in the validity of impersonal judgment, which makes them naturally rather ineffective at using it. Most INFPs will avoid impersonal analysis, although some have developed disability and are able to be quite logical. Under stress, it's not uncommon for INFPs to misuse hard logic in the heat of anger, throwing out fact after often inaccurate fact in an emotional outburst. I've done that in the past. INFPs have very high standards and are perfectionists. Consequently, they are usually hard on themselves and don't give themselves enough credit. INFPs may have problems working on a project in a group because their standards are likely to be higher than other members of the group. In group situations, they may have a control problem. The INFP needs to work on balancing their high ideals with the requirements of everyday living. Without resolving this conflict, they will never be happy with themselves and they may become confused and paralyzed about what to do with their lives. INFPs are usually talented writers. They may be awkward and uncomfortable when expressing themselves verbally, but they have a wonderful ability to define and express what they are feeling on paper. INFPs also appear frequently in social service professions such as counseling or teaching. They are at their best in situations where they're working towards the public good and in which they don't need to use hard logic. INFPs who function in their well-developed sides can accomplish great and wonderful things, which they will rarely give themselves credit for. Some of the great humanistic catalysts in the world have been INFPs. So dominant is introverted feelings, auxiliary, extroverted intuition, tertiary, introverted sensing, inferior, extroverted thinking. So yeah, so in a nutshell, that's what an INFP is. And there's about 16 personality types, and if you're interested in knowing about personality types, I'm going to put a link in the description field. So, pretty much, see, within the description field of what an INFP is, that's a classic example of what a narcissist will look for. See, a narcissist looks for somebody who is caring, very compassionate, and will basically strive to keep the relationship going. And that's what I did for so long. I mean, even though I felt there were things wrong with the relationship, I didn't want to give up on it, even though internally and dominantly within me, I had read the alert signals going off. In hindsight, I should have listened to it. I should have ran. I should have negated the fact that basically, uh, yeah, you may love the wrong type of person. So in recovery, I do say read about your personality type, and go from there. You know, there's so many links out there, so many information things where if you get your personality type right, you can learn. It can help with any psychology that you do, with any therapy. You can read up on your personality type. You can learn what your limitations are as well, um, and just yeah, go from there. All right, folks. My next video is probably going to be in about 2 weeks' time at this stage. Thanks for watching and listening or whatever you've been doing. Uh, Till next time, ciao.